grants. Julie?
Thank you so much, Mr. Siddell. Thank you for being here, and thanks to Ms. Bowers for being here. Very important discussion. This won't surprise you. The number one issue during the last campaign was affordable housing, and I'll tell you, with this pandemic coming out of it, it'll continue to be a top issue for the residents of my riding of Davenport. I will tell you that we've had a number of nonprofit organizations want to help build some affordable housing options in the riding, but they have found that they found the process a little bit onerous, a little bit long, not easy to engage in. And so my question is, in an era where, I heard that you said we're trying to create 125,000 new units over the next 10 years, and I know our need is so substantially much higher than that. What is it? And we're now in the era of agility and flexibility and trying to do the impossible. What can the federal government do at this point to help CMHC accelerate more affordable housing options?
Well, I want to give Romy an opportunity to brag about your properly pointed criticism about how hard it was to deal with us in the first instance. And that's a function. It's not Romy's fault. It's my fault. We designed a program that I insisted we launch quickly. And as a result, it was a little clunky to start. But Romy, could you just talk about what we've done to speed those processes up and then perhaps answer the question?
Yeah, for sure. And yes, thank you very much for the question. And to really put it simply, we've become a much more client-centric organization. I think before what we were trying to do is not consider the needs of the client, but trying to fit people into different programs that we have. So the new mindset and the new processes that we have is to, in the first instance, understand what the needs of the client are, and then to trying to find a solution for them. And I do apologize to your constituents who have had difficulty with our programs. I can assure you that there has been an effort underway for the last 8 months to really look at our processes and to make significant improvements, starting with having detailed discussions with the clients before they even start the application process. So I hope the fruits of that effort is slowly being felt, and we're always very happy to have discussions with you. We have staff across all regions of Canada, and we're very happy to engage in these kind of discussions to make sure that the money is getting to the people who need it most. And as you probably know, recently there was an announcement by the mayor of Toronto to announcing some modular housing units that are being built in response to the COVID crisis. And again, that's an example of CMHC staff working very constructively with municipal leaders to make sure that money is going where they're needed most.
And I'll just add, certainly more money is needed, but our plan, because the federal government has made substantial investments by the National Housing Strategy, is to make sure that provinces and territories are doing their part with match funding, and also the municipalities are helping us by speeding up approvals.
So that gets me to my almost to my next question. You had mentioned a comment how home ownership is lower in high-income countries. Is that because there's more rental options, affordable rental options available?
It is partly that. These are, of course, many of them older economies than ours. The other thing is that in newly developed economies, there seems to be a rush to ownership, and that skews the data a different way.
Okay. And so then it gets me back to your comment around municipalities and provinces also have to step up around if we want more affordable housing or options moving forward. You have this comment about municipalities can continue to help by accelerating the affordable housing approvals, waiving fees, and a bunch of things. One of the things you don't mention is gentle density. Is that also a solution that should be put on the table as well?
Well, I'd say rough density. And what I mean by that is there was a study done, because the supply function is so slow, the better way to attack affordability is densification. And the levels of density we have in this country are very, very low by comparative standards. I know that the pandemic will cause people to be worried about densification. There seems so far to be no evidence other than, of course, in long-term care facilities, which is a different case. The density is correlated with higher infection rates. People live separately, after all. And I know in my building in Ottawa, I live in an apartment building, there's steps to clean common areas. So densification, and I would say, frankly, aggressive densification, not gentle densification, although that too is essential, is really what's required.
And what does that look like? Do you mean by that we should encourage more building of rental units? What is it? Make it easier to have 4-story sort of buildings of just rental apartments? What do you mean by that?
That's what I mean. I mean, frankly, attacking NIMBYism and people complaining about higher density. It comes at the cost of very expensive housing.
And then can I just ask one more question? I just want to ask a question around the modular housing, because that to me was an excellent announcement. It is fast housing that's coming on, apparently on stream in September for homeless and the most vulnerable who don't have housing. Is that a model that we need to be investing more in moving forward?
Romy, I'm going to give that one to you. The answer is yes.
Yes. The answer is yes, definitely. And it's great that we're able to act so quickly. But, fundamentally, we need to attack the source of homelessness. This is a bit of a temporary solution, but I think we need to respond to the COVID crisis and deal with that. But I think we need to look long term as to how do we address homeless situation in a permanent way, so we don't have to be in this situation again if we were to face another pandemic. I think that's what we're trying to.
Thank you.